Hi, Gali.
Hi, hi. We are on live.
Yes, let me see if you can hear me. Ah,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
perfect. I can see you on Instagram. We're live there, and I can see you live and perfectly here. You sound great, look great.
Good.
Yeah,
So let's look at the chat quickly, and let me.
yeah. Hi, Bridget. How are you? I'm assuming everyone can see
Everyone
us and
can
hear
see us
us
and hear us.
100%.
Yes. Okay. Da.
Yeah, if you're on, definitely say hello. And of course, throughout, interact
Ah,
and
see
take this
Bridget.
opportunity to share the link as well for other people to join us.
Okay. Okay. Here is Bridget. Hello, Bridget. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. We are
All right.
talking about hiring.
Yes, today we're talking about how to hire, when to fire, what to look out for in people, when you're looking at potential options, because essentially it's key for starting to build. So you've been a solopreneur for a while, and now you're looking to take on your first person, or you already have a team, but you're looking to add to an existing company culture, and that's the question is about hiring. So
Okay.
I mean, it's a massive subject. Is there a particular point that you want to start? Or
Most of the time, when people hire, when you hire people, it ends up in a disaster
yeah.
because you hire someone and you hope that he knows what he needs to do, but they never do. Very
Mhm.
seldom you find someone that really responsible and know what he needs to do and take responsibility. And most of the time, you need to teach them. So it's distracting the current work. And you try to teach them, you try to teach them, and at one point, you say, okay, fine, this is the wrong person. You replace a person, and now you paid salary for 6 months to a year. And never mind the salary you did not produce because you have been busy with training that guy. And the end result is really a disaster.
Mhm. 100%.
And today, specifically, there is this viewpoint that people have a very short term in each company. And it's not because they don't want to stay, but because they know that they don't bring results, they don't help the company. So they have to leave the company to protect the company from their own uselessness. So when you see a
Interesting.
person that leave every few months, every 8 months, a year and a half, you know this person is 99.9% of the cases is not a producer. He's not really good for the company.
Wow, I see.
And
Yeah.
the reason he leave is because he's not a producer. It doesn't mean that he is not good. It just means that he does not know how to produce in that company, which leads me to the key mistakes that company owners are making when they're hiring people. You should
Mhm.
never hire a person before you have a written training for that person.
I
Before
see.
you have a method to train the person, if you hire him, it's better not to have him than to have him. Why? When you don't have someone, he doesn't exist. He's at zero. When you get someone, at day one, he goes to liability. He becomes a liability.
Right.
So it's
Yeah. You
better
now have a
not.
salary, you have a commitment of your time, you immediately get into a massive commitment.
Of course, you've got salary, and then, of course, he's not performing. So he has to
Mhm.
find fault with you. So when he will leave, he will try to make damage.
Right.
Uh, yes. So,
True.
yeah, they will try to make damage. They're really terrible, terrible, terrible. And they will tell you how bad is the employee and how unconsiderate is the owner or the manager. And they will have a lot of complaint. And people complain only because they've done something against the person they're complaining about.
Yeah.
Only,
100%. Right.
only. And it's but and you will say no, but sometimes people are really bad. Yes, but if someone is really bad, I will not be complaining about him. I will handle him. He would be complaining about me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so let's go back to I have so many different questions about, when do you leave the company? And what if you want to get a raise and then you want to move up in the company? And I have a lot of different questions, but let's start at the very beginning. So let's start with even before the viewpoint of the owner hiring. Let's say that you are an employee looking to be hired. How do I prepare for a job interview? What do I do to come in to increase my chances of getting the job?
Okay. You need to understand what is the interviewer or the person that making the decision is looking for. And you need to
Mm,
decide ethically, honestly, can you actually deliver it? Now,
mm,
the first thing you need to gain is the ability to name what is it that he is looking for. He's not looking for a good employee. That's not what he's looking for. He's not looking for something very undefined. You need to be able to define what your boss wants before you have any chance of actually being hired and actually doing a good job. And then once you define it, you need to decide: can I actually deliver it?
mhm.
Because if you're going for a job that you don't think that you can deliver, and you're going to ask for that job without saying, look, I don't know that I can deliver it, you're actually going to steal. Because the guy, the boss will pay you for
Mhm.
being there and you will create damage. This is stealing.
Right, right. Now, and that makes sense. It is stealing. That's a big point, and most people don't take that on the chin and realize I'm basically stealing. Now, somebody here on Instagram says, basically you need to know your job. But so let's say I know my job. Let's say I feel I am a salesman and I'm looking to get hired. How can I discover the guy didn't put much data on the job interview offering? I can, of course, go look at the website, but how can I really discover what does this potential new boss really need and want?
Okay. So you look at the company and you ask around and you research, and
Mhm,
the least the if you don't have enough data, you need to be really really smart so you can come up with a conclusion of what he really needs. And
mhm,
if I'm a salesperson and he's looking for salespeople, probably he's got some issues with income.
right.
So if I will go to an interview, I will go and I'll tell him, look, I can sell. Why? Because I love to help, and selling is helping. And basically, because I understand that selling is helping, I'm willing to go and push the customer as much as he needs to be pushed until he get closed.
Mhm,
And in order for me to close it, what I'm doing, I need to understand what is his problem. So I'm very 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 willing to understand the customer. Once I understand his problem, I know what's the solution, I'll give it to him. And I will do it by being super persistent. And to be persistent, I have my own, or you will give it to me, but I have my own administration that makes sure that my follow-up is spotless. And one thing for sure, you will not need to worry about me. You give me the targets, I bring you the results. I'm not going to be a headache for you. I'm going to be an asset for you.
mm, I see,
Well,
I see.
if this is your real viewpoint, if you really understand that that's what he's looking for, there's no question what he's looking
Of
for.
course.
Someone
Yeah,
looking for an accountant, I know he has a problem with the records. He needs the record to be spotless, etc. So you need to understand the end result of your job. The
yeah,
end result of a salesman is income without headache to the owner of the company.
right. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Okay, then that makes sense. I mean, that's very valuable, that alone, in terms of how do you go in there and you actually need to be able to express, this is what I am providing you value. No questions asked. I stand behind my offering. I
Yeah,
know that if you pay me, that means I am obliged to give you above and beyond what you paid me.
yeah. I'm
Most
basically
people,
coming
yeah.
to, if I will go to be ever hired as a salesperson or as anything, I will come to him and I'll say, look, I'm going to cost you $10,000 per month. I will produce for you profit of at least 80. So it makes sense to you to pay me.
Hmm.
Which means I can tell you that if you're giving me, if I want $10,000 per month, if you're giving me any target that is less than 120, you're going to lose money.
Hmm.
So that is my first target.
Yeah. Yeah, you're hired.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
if you really take the viewpoint of what he needs, I know what he
right.
needs. He needs sales, he needs profit. So if I cost him $10,000, probably the cost of the product is another 30, 40%. So fine.
Mm.
So I'm already at 50,000. There is overhead, which is another 30%. There is tax. So he needs, if I want $10,000 net, he needs to make gross. I need to sell 80, 90, 100, 110 minimum.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I tell him, look, I'm here. I know how to sell. I'm totally willing to learn the policy of the company and to act within that policy. But I want to tell you that my purpose is higher than the policy. I'm going to bring the result. If your policy going to stop me, I will bend the policy.
Uh-huh.
The result is more important than your policy, of course, ethically and of course without causing you
Of
any
course.
damage. Yes. Uh, and I will do anything to help you. How will I help you? You will not get any noise from me. You'll get results.
Hmm. Hmm. Amazing. Yeah. No brainer. No brainer. And somebody here on Instagram said you can always ask, how can I be an asset to your company? Yeah, I
No, no,
suppose
I'm
you
not
could.
asking how can I be an asset. I'm telling you how can I be an asset. If I'm asking you, I'm already
I see. So you wouldn't actually ask in an interview from the job, like, look, how can
he's
I?
interviewing me, not I'm interviewing him.
Uh-huh. I see.
I come, I should be able to say, look, this is what I will deliver.
I see.
If you will tell me, can you deliver something? I will look at it and I will tell him yes or no. But generally, I come to an interview. If
Hmm.
I'm going to be I don't know, a bookkeeper, I would say, look, there will be zero delays in recording of all the financial transaction of the company. The transaction will be extremely accurate, never a mistake. They will be auditable. There will be a system of self-checking. So if there is a mistake, it will be caught. And I will do it in such a way that the clients and the suppliers will be happy with the company. I'll be extremely polite, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
And the accountant will love me because I'll give him zero work. Everything will be ready. He will just need to import it into his system, and there will be zero problems.
Hmm. Amazing. Yeah, exactly.
If
So
I'm a
you need
cook,
to come
that's
there.
my job.
Yeah. Yeah. So you need to
Usually
go there. Yeah.
is just a headache. What should I do here? And
Hmm. Okay, what about learning on the job? So somebody comes in to get hired, but he doesn't. Everybody knows that you're gonna need training on the job. Now what?
Okay, not a problem. But if I need a training on the job and I come to you and I say, okay, fine, of course I need the training on the job. There's two type of training. This policy, company policy, and this is my job. If I need to learn the job, let's say that I'm an accountant in training or a bookkeeper in training, I said, look, I'm going to learn. I'm going to invest at least 30% of my time in learning,
Hmm.
but I'm very fast learner, not because I'm saying that I'm fast learner, but because I make sure that I understand every step of the way. And if I don't
Hmm.
understand, you will hear the screaming.
Hmm.
I will
Yes.
be sure that I understand. And
Yeah.
because I intend to understand, and because my purpose is to understand, I will not skip over anything. If something is not totally duplicated by me, I will stop. I will ask. I will fight. I will figure it out.
I see.
And the end result will be that you'll see that I will be progressing, and every month I will bring more value than the month before, which means I will take more areas of responsibility and I will actually staticize it. I will make sure that I will show you my progress.
Yeah. That's. I mean, anybody that had trouble getting a job that just comes in with that, they will. That's incredible. I mean, that's.
It's a viewpoint. It's a viewpoint. I understand
Viewpoint.
what he
Yeah.
needs. I understand what it means to do my job. So if I'm learning to be a bookkeeper, or if I'm learning to be anything, I need to understand what I'm supposed to deliver. And I need to understand this is my starting point and this is where I need to be. So I need to show you the progress, because if I'm not showing you the progress, then I'm giving you headache. Even if I am progressing, I will show you the progress. I will report to you the progress, and you will see that every month you will be more happy that you're having me, not because I'm good looking, but because there is more results. I will prove
Yeah.
to you the result. I will report to you the result by reporting statistics.
Got it. Now, on the flip side, which I mean, this has kind of been answered because it's one of those things of this is the kind of person you need to look for. But as the person that's being the hirer, the person hiring, what must they do? If I'm now looking to hire into my company, what do I need to be on the lookout for? Of course, these types of qualities, but is there anything else?
Yeah. So first of all, the first thing I'm looking for is the reaction time of the person, how fast he is.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting in an interview and I'm interviewing you and I'm holding a tennis ball in my hand and just playing with that. And all of a sudden I will throw it at you. And your reaction will tell me where you are. Are you
Mm.
afraid? Are you enthusiastic? Can you confront motion?
Hmm.
First thing I need to understand, can you confront motion?
Yeah,
Can you
I see.
handle motion? Because life is motion.
Yeah,
And if you cannot, if you're afraid, then you'll be afraid of your inbox. You'll be afraid of everything.
I
You will
see.
not actually be able to tackle anything of magnitude. The first problem that will happen, you'll close your eyes and start to blaming.
Mm,
Yes.
I see. Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Then I will test the person for his ability to duplicate. If I say A, B,
Hmm.
C, E, F, G, can he repeat that?
Hmm.
Yes, I
I
just
see.
ask, can he repeat? And I'll talk to a person and I say, okay, so what did I just say? Repeat
Mm,
it. I'll try to. I will find ways to see, does he actually duplicate me,
yeah,
or
I
is
see.
he just moving his head like a parrot?
Got it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good tip.
And then I will do IQ test if I can. If you have an IQ test, if you are hiring, if you are anywhere close to hiring, you need to check the IQ of the person. So IQ, duplication, and reaction time. Okay, that's the three first thing that I will check. Then I will
Hmm.
come to the person and I'll tell him, look, this is what expected from you, what I just told you that I will want from a person,
Hmm.
and see his reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
I'll tell him, and immediately I will see, is he thinking that it's unreasonable, da da da? Does he push me to ask me for the pay, or does he more interested to show me that he can deliver?
Yeah, that's a big thing
Useless,
because I'll yeah, go on, go on.
useless people will ask about the pay, will ask about the pay, will ask about the pay. That's the only thing that they are
Hmm.
interested. I don't care about my pay. Why? Because I will become so valuable to you that anything that I will ask, you'll give me and more. The only
Mm.
reason I will ask you for the pay is to know what is my target.
Yeah, I see. I see. That's a totally different viewpoint. I've seen that hiring for sure. There are those that say, "Look, the pay we can sort out. Let me start. Let me show you what I've got. We'll figure the pay out." And there's others that from the first go is, and how much is this job offering? That's the first concern.
Yeah,
And you know they're there for the
that person, no, thank you,
yeah, yeah,
because he is there for the money. He is
yes,
not there for helping.
yes, exactly.
I don't need the people that work only for the money. The oldest profession in the universe is the profession that work only for the money.
Right.
They don't
Yeah,
work for the
100%.
pleasure.
That's true. I know which profession you're referring to.
Yes. So I'm
Yeah.
looking for people that wants the pleasure in bringing results.
Yes, I see. And now, would you check? a person's work history in terms of length of time at a place? Like if you saw somebody worked 6 months, moved, 6 months, moved, would they have any chance of being hired? And or if not, not, and if yes, under what circumstance?
So I will check the production history. It's very, very, very important to check how much they produce in other places. Extremely
Hmm.
important, and it will tell you a lot. Um, and you will see if a person move and move and move. You know the guy is not stable. Why he's not stable? Because he's committing sins everywhere he goes. His
Hmm.
responsibility is very low. He cannot hold position in space.
Yeah, I see.
So that person is not a candidate. Of course, we
Hmm.
can handle him, we can train him, blah, blah, blah. But he needs to be really spatial and he needs to be really awake in order for me to, as a owner of a business, to invest in him, to improve him. Most people that move from one place to another place to another place are really not producing. No one can bring result in 6 months, or no one can assist in 6 months. The first 6 months, you only cost money to the company.
Hmm. Yeah,
The first 6 months or a year, you only cost money. You don't really bring results. Very seldom. There are some situations like a salesperson that is really good and it start to work. Yeah, there are some situations. But
yeah,
most cases, the first 6 months, you just learn where's the toilet.
I see. And is there anything else that you're looking for in a resume, or
So
not? Not really.
I'm looking at the time. I'm looking at the production record, not what they did, not what they did. I don't care what they did. I ask them of what did they actually produce, and I want to see the numbers. So, for example, I will ask them, uh, "What did you do?" I used to be a bookkeeper. Excellent. Um, how many records did you do per week? I don't know. Okay, how many records you had to do? How many records you had to do? All of I don't know. If he doesn't know, it means he didn't produce. He
Hmm.
created backlog.
Yeah,
A producer will find a way to keep statistics. A producer will find a way to keep the history of a record of his production. Like if you are the best basketball player, you're not going to forget what you've done in each game.
I see. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because you're a
This.
producer. But
Uh-huh.
if you're a loser, you're trying very, 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 very hard to forget and not to know.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm.
People will tell you, no, but my work is not cannot be measured. Everyone works cannot be measured. The only work that cannot be measured is the work that has not been completed.
Oh, everyone's work can be measured.
Can, yes,
Can be,
everyone's
yeah.
work can be measured, and the only one that cannot be measured is those one that has not been produced. If it has been produced, it can be measured.
I see. Amazing. Got it. Okay, so that's already beyond powerful in terms of how to go in to get hired and what to look for when hiring. Now, the final piece for now in this short interview of this puzzle is people that skip one job to the next. How do you, but somebody says, yes, but I got another opportunity that pays me double and I had growth. So I want to continue moving up. I can provide more money. I can do more for my family. So I jumped up and I jumped up and I jumped up. When is that okay to do? Is it ever not okay to do? How do you know when you should take the pay increase and move a job?
Okay. So if there is an opportunity for a pay increase, as I said, the pay is not everything. You
Hmm.
have a commitment. You come to a company, you have a commitment to bring about a certain results. So you should not leave before you are there in terms of results. And
Hmm.
if you worked for 6 months or a year and now you move because someone gave you a better opportunity, you didn't bring results. You created the liability. So you will end up with maybe one job that pays you better and maybe second job that pays you better, and then you'll be without a job
Why will you be without a job?
because you yourself know that you're committing a sin, that you're not really helping, that you're stealing. You
Hmm.
know that. So somehow you will arrange the things around you that you'll be unlucky enough that you'll be without a job. Either the next company will go bankrupt, or they will fire you, and you will leave, and the other company promised you something, and then they will not deliver, and there will be stories. It's always a story
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you know that you did not deliver.
I see.
So when is it okay to leave a job? You set up a target for yourself and you say, okay, fine, I'm going to leave when I get to that target, which means I actually I helped as more than they helped me. But then only once my job is actually written, all the tricks and everything is written, so someone else can occupy the post, and I need to find a replacement for me and train him.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can leave the job.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. That's the concept which maybe you can touch upon of leaving things in a good condition, which applies to a job, which applies to a relationship. You know, if you're dating a girl, how do you
Yeah.
leave that job? You know, how do you end up? But really, and it's a similar principle of how maybe you can talk about that principle of leaving things in a good condition.
Yeah. You
How
don't
does that
live
work?
before things are in a good condition. You have a relationship with someone, and you uh, want to leave the place in a good condition. What does it mean? If I'm as the owner, I demand production. Yes, I demand production from the employee, from my subcontractors, from everyone. I demand production. I demand result. If a person do not bring result, I'm very, very willing to help him. But if he's not bringing results, I would not pay him.
Hmm. Yeah.
So most of the people that work for me based on results. Someone come to work for me, I want to see the result. I want to check in my own eyes that you actually produced. And
Yeah.
you check that it's most people don't. And so this is on the one hand. So demand for production. So my purpose is not just that everything will be good, love, and happiness. My purpose is results. Yes,
Hmm.
I need to
Hmm.
bring results. I need to make sure that you bring results to me, that you keep your words once given.
Yeah.
And if you don't, my door is always open. Come back, fix it. I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, if I talk about a relationship, I met a girl. I'm going out with a girl, and I got to a date. Okay, I need to bring a result because there's an expectation, there's an agreement, unwritten agreement that I need to behave in a certain way towards the girl. I need to treat her in a certain way, and she needs to treat me in a certain way. And whatever
Hmm.
she is doing, I will bring my result. I don't care what she's doing.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
can be total married.
Yeah. 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 In a really bad condition of marriage.
A really bad condition,
Yeah.
but if I go out with her, I will be nice to her. I
But as,
will.
but aside from going out with her, what, let's say you've been dating somebody for a year and you are deciding now it's time to break up. How do you do that, leaving it in a good condition?
You sit, and it's a little bit of a bigger um, discussion, but generally in a relationship, what you need to sit down and find out all the things that you did not take responsibility for.
Hmm.
And if
Hmm.
you actually make a list of all the things that you did not take responsibility for. Now, how
Hmm.
do you find them? Anything that you find wrong with her is you did not take responsibility for. If I blame you, it's me.
Mm.
Anything
Okay.
that you have the urge to blame, it's me. And you make
Yeah.
a list of all the things that you blame her, and you find how you were not responsible, and you will see that the urge to leave her will go away very quickly.
I see. Yeah. Got it. Amazing.
Because once you clean your hands, you will not want to leave the other person. It sounds totally unbelievable, but the only reason a person wants to leave is because he's of his own sins, his own damage. The only
Yeah.
reason a person wants to leave is because he committed a sin against you. He's hiding something from you.
100%.
Otherwise, he will not want to leave.
Yeah.
The person that want to leave, the person that blame, is the person that committed the sin.
Yeah, 100%. That's a bitter pill to swallow every time you've said it to someone, but once you are brave and observe that, it ends up being pretty apparent and provable. And once you, more than it's being provable, once you do that, it starts to heal the situation for real.
It's fixing. Yes. Otherwise, you live, and you are bitter, and you have a lot of anger against the other person. And every person that you see, you have the urge to educate them about how bad your ex was. And since he was not really bad, you start to learn about how he is. What do you call this?
And narcissist.
Narcissist. So he
Yeah,
become
yeah.
narcissist, and he has and you saw that he has narcissist tendencies from day one. And
Mhm.
if that doesn't
Of course.
work, then you say that he's insane. And if that doesn't work, you come up with a different name. But it's you. You committed the sin. If you have complaints, it's you.
Yeah, it's a
Otherwise,
big
you will
thing.
simply. And once
Yeah,
he's gone, you close the cycle, and there's no complaints next.
right. That's a big thing. If you have complaints, it's you.
It's you.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Amazing. So for anybody that's joining, we're just about wrapping up. We'll talk about what this all connects to in a sec. But for anybody that's recently joining, I see people are coming and going. This was all about how do you hire, how do you fire, how do you prepare and land the job interview no matter what. And if you are joining now, you should watch from the beginning because there was amazing gems. This type of training, how to hire, how to fire, it's part of running a business. It's part
Yeah.
of um, actually building things correctly. And it's even if you're not the one hiring, you're entering into a business. And if you want to succeed in business, you need to know many components of business, and this is one of them. That's why we're doing the business class. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you'll see that your income is proportional to how much knowledge, how much correct or applicable knowledge you have.
Hmm.
So you have as much income as you have knowledge that you apply it responsibly.
Yes.
So if I know how to drive a car and I apply this knowledge responsibly, I will have the income from the car. And if not, I will have a loss. The car, I will have an accident. Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
If I have a knowledge on how to sell, I will apply that knowledge responsibly to my clients. And so I will sell them ethically. I will sell them only things that they actually, I know that they need, that it will help them. I will not sell ice to the Eskimos. That will be not selling, that will be cheating.
Yes, because they don't need the
So
ice.
they don't need ice, of course.
Yeah. Right.
So what we're doing in the business class is I'm giving the knowledge that everyone needs in order
Hmm.
to succeed in the business world. In order to succeed in a business world as an owner, as a employee, as a subcontractor, as a person, if you're in the business world, you need that knowledge. And we've done so far 4 lessons, and the results were unbelievable.
Hmm.
People like really like, it's one of the classes that I get the most amount of success stories,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
super powerful,
Yeah.
super powerful. So if you're an employee, if you want to start a business, if you're running a business and you're not doing so well, you need to learn, you need to get the knowledge that you can apply responsibly so you get the income. So I can say that knowledge equal income.
Yes. Yep.
Applicable knowledge equals income. And this is what we do in the business class. We teach you applicable knowledge or about business. I can tell you that one of the main things, one of the key for success is that a person must learn how to teach other people in order for him to have a business. If you don't develop a system where a person can be trained at a very low cost, very fast, to 100%, you will not be successful in business.
So you need to learn how do you teach those you hire? How do you
Yeah.
take every single role that you need filled, and the business owner needs to be able to, through some kind of a manual, train every role, have it written, have it prepared.
And make sure that those that learn actually duplicate. So
Yeah.
if I'm teaching you, I need to make sure that you duplicate it, that you
Yeah.
understand and can apply.
I see. Yeah. I mean, most businesses don't have that for their roles, especially not. I mean, yeah, pretty much no
I
businesses.
think that
Maybe
there
some
is
bigger ones.
very seldom I've seen any business that have it. And even the
Mhm.
bigger ones that have manuals, no one actually reading them. And if someone opened them, they don't duplicate them.
Yeah.
So
True.
they look good, but they are useless. No one read them.
Hmm.
And definitely no one apply them.
Yeah. Yeah. True. 100%. You're right. Yeah. I see. Amazing. And is that part of the business class? Is how to build those manuals, or what's the connection on that front? What
No, it's just something that you
about
need to know.
hiring that you need to learn? Got it. Okay. So for the business class, if you're interested in joining, just write to us, or go to gprosperity.com/business. One final question. I have one last question before we wrap up. When do you fire, and how do
Fire.
you fire?
Okay. When a person is stop being willing, you fire them.
Mhm.
What do I mean? How do you know when a person stop being willing? Willingness has a very magical effect. When the willingness is high, the barriers are small, and when the willingness is low, the barriers are high. So when you see more and more and more and more problems around the person, you need to know that his willingness is very low.
See,
So
I
if you
see.
see the inbox full, it doesn't get handled. If you give him repeated targets and he doesn't achieve the targets, if you train him and he cannot apply the training, if he's and the manifestation can be all kind of manifestation, but you generally see if there is problems around this guy, if there is no result, no result, no result, no result, you need to know that this person doesn't want, assuming that you trained him. You need to
Yes.
know that the person doesn't want. His willingness is low, and at that moment, the problem become an ethical problem, not knowledge problem. And that's usually is not a job of a business to handle, unless if the person has been very successful, has been productive, and been with you for a while, and it's worth for you to invest in his ethics handling.
And how do you do the ethics handling, or is that something in the business class?
We will learn how to handle ethics in the business class. Yes.
Okay, got it. I figured that that's because that's the question is when do you, if you do decide to, recover the person, how do you go about restoring
Yeah,
their
and
level of
more
ethics and
important,
willingness?
how to apply ethics to yourself.
Yeah, also.
More important than how do you fix his ethics, how do you apply ethics to yourself?
Yeah,
But for
100%.
sure, it's something that will definitely 100% go in depth in the business class.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, gprosperity.com/business. Adine, by the way, here said, once again, glad to confront knowledge with you both. So much love from Pakistan. Thank you,
Ah,
Adine.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everyone
Okay.
that was on, both on Instagram and on every other platform. And thank you,
Yes.
Abba.
Thank you. I love you, Babale.
I
Mwah.
love you. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.